I see you're reading the walls.
To keep out the drafts.
We've got to stick together.
Well, good evening. Today is day 2 of the editing diary for Professor Tomfoolery Saves the Planet. I decided today that I'm not going to edit this film in sequential order. I'm not going to start at the beginning of the movie and work all the way through to the end. Instead, it would be much more pleasurable to me and much more tolerable to start with the scenes that I think fondly of, the scenes that sometimes are easier or simpler. So we're starting at the scene 113. And here's what the story is basically about. There are multiple storylines going on, but in this particular case, the young professor, not young, he's 51. Anyway, the professor has moved here from Philadelphia with his older dad, and his dad has encountered somebody that he used to go to college with. And the two gentlemen are sitting here having dinner, and they're talking about the politics of the world and how to change the politics of the world. So it's a very nice, sweet scene, and the two of them recognize that they really have something more in common than just friendship. So that's what we're editing right now. I have synced up the sound from the microphones. I ran 3 microphones on this shot, and you will see down here, each channel, this is one microphone, that's a second microphone, and that's a third microphone. And so I selected the best microphones that captured the best sound of each shot. And so now what I will do is I will cut these shots together to make a completed scene, keeping those microphone channels, all of them, intact with the sound. One little note that I'll show you in a close-up here is that there are 24 frames per second of this film. The microphones, of course, are not connected to the camera, which means that there is a millisecond, like a 1/48 of a second difference in the speed of the microphone versus the camera. So there are times when the microphone will be slightly faster or slightly slower than what the camera speed is. So you will see that they don't always exactly match up. And the way that I do this is before I do every take, I clap my hands, and that's what makes it easiest for me to sync them all up into sound. This first track is the camera track right here of the audio, and this track right below it is the microphone. And you'll listen to kind of an echoey clap. This is a pickup. You hear the echo there? It's simply because the microphone, of course, is not perfectly synced up, and there's no way to sync it. If I were to move it slightly ahead or slightly behind, it would be out of sync altogether. There are other spaces where it does actually happen to sync up perfectly, and I'll show you that. So this one, this microphone synced perfectly with the camera. The middle microphone did not. This is the third setup. However, 24 frames a second is so tight, and yet, believe it or not, being off by just 1 second, one frame, and the 1/24th of a second, people notice that the lips don't match the movement. So that's why it's so crucial to get this as close as possible. And it's a very cute scene, and there was also a delightful outtake from Jonas Israel. This scene is with Jonas Israel and Joe Cronin. So let me show you that outtake as well.
Well, so what were you saying? That you have reading the walls.
Okay, not with that accent. You cannot do it with that accent.
Well, you didn't tell. Are we running?
Yes, you're running.
Now I gotta stop. Okay. Serious now. Have some beans.
So that's what I'm working on tonight. It's very late at night. It's almost midnight. It's midnight 30. And today was a good day. I was in Florence, Oregon. I was invited to talk to a group of Renaissance players and Comic-Con players, cosplayers, about Professor Tomfoolery Saves the Planet. And it was also a great opportunity for me to see Steve Laricha and Joe Ross, both of whom contributed contraptions and locations for making of this film, and also to see Chris Patterson, who is the designer of some of the artwork in this movie. So it's been a great day. I'm very, very tired. I'm going to finish this one scene, and then I'll be back with you, I hope, tomorrow night. Have a good night.